imagine the situation, maybe it is even true in your case, that or when you actually put as your New Year's resolution, you actually promise to yourself that you're gonna work out every single day in the year 2026. And let's say now, in April, today, let's say, when I'm just, when this video is gonna be released, probably it's gonna be released like later in May or something, or sometime like that. But it doesn't matter. Let's say that you, or even in May, let's say you just slack off for one day in April or May, and you got still basically 8 or 7 months to go, until the next year actually is gonna start, and you slack off once, so basically your whole New Year's resolution is like failed, right? You just basically failed it, like it's lost. This streak is completely lost because you did one mistake. So does it mean that you're not gonna even try to fix it and just go to the gym the next day also? Like, are you just gonna waste another 7 or 8 months that you still got left, like, without even going to the gym once? Are you just gonna write it off completely? Well, probably not, right? So why don't we actually apply this analogy to basically the day's analogy? Because once you wake up, hopefully assuming that you slept at least 8 hours that day, you got still basically 16 hours of the day left. And now you made one misstep. Maybe you promised yourself that you're gonna wake up at 6 a.m. and you woke up at 7 a.m., 1 hour later than you actually should. And now you feel guilty, now you feel bad, ashamed, embarrassed. And you can't go back. You can't go back in time and fix it. So what are you gonna do? Are you just gonna write the whole day off just because of some minor mistake, some small mistake, some small slip up? Are you just gonna stop trying for the rest of today, of this day, right? Are you just gonna, maybe you said to yourself, I'm just gonna wake up at 6 a.m., get to the cold shower, get a workout in, and get my calorie goal in. If you try to bulk up, let's say, so you need to get some calorie surplus. So you had this whole plan for today, and once you, and at the morning, you just basically had one slip up. You slipped up only once today, and you can change it. You can't go back and fix it. No, this is sadly this is not how the actually life or reality works. So you can't get it back. So does it mean that you're gonna waste the rest of the hours and you basically not gonna do anything? You gonna procrastinate, or you just gonna completely not get into that cold shower? You are completely gonna miss the workout for today? Are you gonna completely miss the calorie goal for today? Are you just gonna completely, let's say, cancel all of your plans just because of one and slack off on the rest of your habits that you promised to yourself or you planned to do for that day, just simply because of one misstep? And this is like really a small misstep. Like, if you wake up 1 hour later after the time you promised yourself that you're gonna wake up at, like, this is really a really minor mistake. But let's say also now you promise, like, let's actually now count in the more dramatic scenario, like with some more major mistake. Like, maybe you said to yourself you're gonna go on NoFap, and now you are on day 30 and you relapse at the morning or at the afternoon. It doesn't matter. Like, let's say at the afternoon you basically got some like somewhat mediocre day, and then out of nowhere the addiction got the best of you, and it basically made you to relapse. So now what? What are you gonna do now? Maybe you still need to go to work, maybe you still need to go to the gym, maybe you still need to study for some test, maybe you still need to, I don't know, do whatever, right? Edit some YouTube video, I don't know what you can do, like probably anything that you just promised to yourself. So now But now you just made this one huge mistake, because like this is pretty hardcore deal, right? Like pretty a bit big deal to just relapse on your nofap streak or your nofap journey, because this is something you can't get back, and you can't say to yourself, oh, tomorrow I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna basically fix it tomorrow. Like, no, it's gonna take another 30 days for you to actually fix this streak, or like get to your, previous position before you actually relapsing. So, what now? Are you just gonna slack off and like give up? Are you just gonna give up on everything? Are you just gonna slack off on all of the habits that you promised yourself, and all of the things you promised yourself, and activities that you said that you're gonna do? And are you just gonna waste them, like slack off on them? Are you just not gonna do them simply because of one relapse? Like, are you just gonna do this and maybe even relapse more times that day, like multiple times that day, because and basically got into this trap of chaser effect, it is called, which is basically the thing where when you relapse, the brain basically tells you, okay, you failed or you fucked up once, so we might as well fuck up the second time, because now the streak is already lost, so we can just get back, into this full-blown addict mode. So what you can do with this is basically tip number one: acknowledge that you fucked up, write it on a paper, and continue with the rest of your day. I think this is the most sensible thing you can do, right? You just need to acknowledge, because you can't cope. I don't necessarily think coping and lying to yourself about like this whole situation, well, I just relapsed on this, I don't know, 30 days streak of not smoking, of me not smoking. I just and it doesn't matter, right? Because I can't actually influence past, so yeah, maybe it's actually a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing to relapse time to time, because it makes me human and stuff like this. No, I think this is completely really a failing strategy, right? Or strategy destined to fail. What I think is a lot better strategy is to just not be hard on yourself for doing that. Well, be hard on yourself for doing that, but only for a very controlled and limited period of time. So what I like to do is, let's say I fuck up something, and I just get my paper and journal and pen out and write completely detailed description of what I did, why I did it, how I felt while doing that, and why I slacked off, basically what led me to slacking off, and how I felt before slacking off, during slacking off, and after slacking off. And I just write it completely down on paper, and when I'm really angry on myself, I basically call myself little bitch there, I basically call myself all of these things there. I'm really angry, and I just put it and write it completely down on this paper, and then I just look at it. Maybe I sometimes read it again, look at it, analyze it, and just close this page, close this book, because I journal into some, exercise books, and I basically just close it off, or like close it, put it back to my shelf, and go on with my day. I try to learn as much as I can from this fuck up, then I acknowledge that I fucked up, and I just bitch on myself, and I'm really hard on myself, and try to learn and analyze it for, let's say, 10 to 30 minutes while journaling, and then I just basically close this book, close this page, put it into my shelf, close this chapter, and don't look back, and go on with my life again. And if this is something with, let's say, skipping workout at the morning, maybe you said to yourself, as I do, I'm gonna work out every single day, or not even every single day, but I'm just gonna today work out at 6 a.m. 6 a.m. But then you actually find the time of the day being 3 p.m. and you still haven't accomplished that workout. So What can you do now? Well, now the excuse of I can't influence past and I can't influence basically what happened in history. I can't influence it. So I'm just gonna write myself out of that into the journal, close this book, and just go on with my life. No, now you don't have this excuse because you are still in control. It's still 3 p.m. You still got few hours before your bedtime left. Now it's time for you to get your acts together and get that workout done. Doesn't even need to be at 6 a.m. Who cares? Like, you fucked up once and you obviously can journal about it and just analyze why haven't you done it at 6 a.m.? Why did you slack off? Why haven't you done this and that? And how did you feel during this whole time? But yeah, like, still journal about it in your journal. Think through it, learn as much as you can, gain as much from it. Like, learn as much from it as you can, but then if you can influence it. Do it. If it is something you can still do it. Let's say cold showers, let's say workouts, you still can do them, even later, but you still can do them. Just because of you had a really bad morning doesn't mean you're gonna, or you are permitted, or you got any excuse to skip today's afternoon or evening workout or cold shower. Doesn't, like, no, you got nothing to you got nothing to actually cope with. And then basically, if it is out of your control, then I would also only journal about it and just, as some relapses on your addiction streak or waking up lately, because you can just go back at 5 o'clock and just wake yourself up again. No, unfortunately we can't as a humans travel in time, so you just need to suck it up and you just need to learn from it. So if you just woke up 2 hours or 1 hour or 30 minutes after the time you actually promised yourself you're gonna wake up, journal about it, learn as much as you can, close the book, close the chapter, go on with your day. Same thing goes for relapses on your addictions. If you relapse after 30 days, 5 days, 4 days, 2 days, 1 day, few hours, on your no-fap streak, on your, let's say, alcohol, being free of alcohol, heroin, I don't know, man, if you take that, if you ever took that shit, but, or cigarette addiction, like, whatever, like, if you actually relapse on any addiction, or sugar addiction, it just doesn't matter. If you just relapse, you can't go back and prevent yourself from relapsing. No. This is unfortunately the way it goes. You can't. Even though I would definitely, a lot of times when I relapse on some addictions that I got, let's say, I still bitch on myself and I wish and I would kill for being in the position of, let's say, a few minutes before relapsing and stop myself, But unfortunately, this is not how it goes, so only thing I can do, and you can do, and we can do, is to just journal about it, learn as much as we can from it, and prevent it, not in past, but prevent it in the future, alright, by our actions. And now I'm just gonna share with you the last tip. And the last thing that I would advise you, is basically acknowledging that basically only control that you have is over you right now at this moment. Also, the last thing what I would advise you to actually acknowledge, that you probably must acknowledge, is the fact of you are capable of only controlling yourself only at this moment. No, you can't control yourself 1 week ago, yesterday, or about the stuff you did 1 week ago or yesterday. No, or even few minutes ago, few seconds ago, few hours ago. No, you just can't get it back. You just can't rewrite history. No, or past. No, it just doesn't. Unfortunately, as I said, it just unfortunately doesn't work that way. So if you don't have a control over changing something in the past, why would you care about it now even? Like, if you can't take anything from it, simply I would advise you to just learn as much from your mistakes as you can, journal about it, meditate about it, sit and think through it. But if there's now nothing you can actually learn, well then, forget about it. Put it on paper, acknowledge it, acknowledge that you fucked up, but don't let it change who you are fundamentally. Don't let it change who you are as a person, your identity, or if you are hardworking or not. No. And this is what I have a lot of problems also with, like, I got huge problems with looking at myself as being some hardworking dude, even though I work out every single day, but let's say 6 times a week, obviously. I got Sundays basically that like the rest of the days, but my whole perception of myself and my whole self-esteem and confidence and my own, let's say, character, or who I am, my self-identity, basically falls apart just because of one slight fuck up. Like, maybe I didn't work out 6 times this week, but 5 times this week, or maybe I worked out 6 times this week, as I promised to myself, but one workout wasn't 30 minutes, or didn't take me 30 minutes, but let's say only 25 minutes, and now I feel like this workout wasn't actually valuable enough, it didn't teach me anything, it was completely wasted time, and yeah, I didn't. And now, therefore, I just can't call myself productive, I can't call myself hardworking, and I am not, in fact, even hardworking or productive or disciplined. And this is where a lot of people just fall on their mouths, including me. This is really a bad thing. You need to just stop doing this, and hey, I think this, I still didn't well, I think it would be really a good thing if I would, but unfortunately I still wasn't able, and I am not able to figure it out how to actually stop changing all of these things, like how to actually stop changing my whole self-identity based on if I have one slight fuck up or not, right? But I think it all comes down to this perfectionism, which I basically need to kill in these 3 steps, as I told you in today's video. And now I think the smartest thing, and if you think about yourself this way, I think the smartest thing to do is actually to just write on paper completely who you are and who you used to be. Doesn't matter if you work out for 2 years, obviously it's gonna be a lot better for you. If you work out for 2 years or 5 years or 10 years, it's gonna be a lot easier for you to acknowledge this. Or if you just work out 1 week, right? It doesn't matter. But just look at yourself and write on a paper, just for yourself. No one needs to see it, no one needs to know about this, no one wants to know about this. You don't do it for anyone else, you just do it for you. And just put this, paper in front of you, or just some textbook that you have, or some, I don't know, journal book that you just journal in or write into, and basically write there who you used to be before taking responsibility over your life and who you are now. I work out for 2.5 years, and basically today I actually realized this thing about, like, 2.5 years ago, I was 22 kilos, or 45 pounds, I think, or 50 pounds approximately, lighter than I am now. I was 50 pounds lighter than I am now, and I still think about myself and perceive myself as being skinny. Over the course of 2.5 years, I basically got probably hundreds of workouts done, hundreds of cold showers done. And yet, still I think about myself as lazy, still I think about myself as even being equal to my starting position, still I think I'm no better than I used to be. And chances are that you have this self-negative talk also. And if you actually have this negative self-talk, what I would actually advise you is to just do this. Acknowledge who you used to be and who you are now. And I'm just not saying this to boost my ego, I'm just saying... No, I'm just saying this to actually maybe share some tip with you, like what can actually help you, right? And just make a video about it, obviously. So what kind of a self-improvement video would this be without me actually giving you any advice? But the core of it is actually to look at your life retrospectively and say, it doesn't matter, like maybe you work out for 1 month or 1 week, or like take cold showers for one month or 1 week, or like started to wake up early for this period of time. So now, even after these small amounts of time, you still are able and you are still capable of looking at yourself and writing it down and saying, it is 2 months, let's say, or 1 month or 1 week of me working out, or of me taking responsibility over my life. And one fuck up, one slacking off, is not gonna change who I am. I decided to take responsibility over my life. I decided to take action. I decided to achieve my dreams. I decided to figure it out, my dreams, and then plan out the journey, how to actually gain them. And now I realized, or like I decided to take the action for that, and this makes me actually valuable human being. This actually boosts my self-confidence, and this is my self-identity. I don't run from the problems, I face them, even though sometimes I fail. Alright guys, this is what I wanted to tell you all in this voice message. In this video. Hope you liked it, hope you got something from it. And if yes, definitely leave me a like, subscribe, and nice comment down in the comment section. Or maybe just diss me for my haircut, or like for whatever. Just tell me I'm idiot, I don't care. Like, as long as you just write something or send something into this comment section, the video is actually gonna get boosted by the algorithm. So yeah, thank you for listening this far, and just support this channel as you think is like equal as you actually want. And yeah, this is it, man. Thanks for listening to my yap for all of these minutes, and see you in the next one.